Ciao a tutti, benvenuti,
Hello
come
and
state?
welcome everybody. How are you?
Prima di iniziare il nostro programma, abbiamo un'informazione
First,
molto
before
importante.
starting, we have a really
Questo
important
programma è
information for
disponibile
you.
in
This
portoghese,
program is available
spagnolo,
in
inglese e
Portuguese,
francese.
Spanish, English, and French.
Ciao, sono Denise e sono italiana.
Hello, I'm
Io
Denise
sono
and I
Mariane
come
e
from
vengo dal
Italy.
Brasile.
I am
Scrivete
Mariane and
qui
I
nella
come from
chat da
Brazil.
dove ci state
Right here
seguendo,
in the
così
chat
possiamo
from
anche
where you're
vedere
following
quanto
us,
internazionale
so we
questo
can
gruppo
see how
oggi è.
international this group is.
Siamo felici di essere qui con voi in
We're very
questo
happy to
terzo
be
incontro
here today at
internazionale della
this
United
third
World
international
Community.
meeting of the
E
United
per
World
cominciare
Community.
vogliamo
And to
mostrarvi un
start,
breve
we want
video
to
del
show
United
you a
World
brief
Project,
video of the
la
United World
principale
Project,
iniziativa di
which
New
is the main
Humanity, che
initiative of
presenta
the
i
NGO New
pilastri di questa
Humanity,
rete globale.
which presents the
Stiamo
pillars of
costruendo
this global
insieme.
network that we are building together.
Realizzare un mondo unito.
Creating a united
Qui le strade
world.
diventano molteplici.
Here, paths multiply:
Politica, economia,
politics, economy,
medicina, arte,
medicine, art,
idee nuove per
new
rinnovare da
ideas to
profondo la
profoundly
società.
renew society.
C'è bisogno di energia,
What we need is
concretezza,
energy, concreteness, and action.
insieme.
Together.
Partendo da questa splendida
Starting
capitale
from this
europea,
beautiful
vogliamo
European
lanciare un
capital,
progetto
we want to
perché
launch a
la
project
fraternità
so
universale
that universal
diventi una realtà
fraternity
in
can
tutto il
become a
mondo.
reality around the globe.
Coraggio, forza,
Courage,
creatività
strength,
e passione.
creativity, and passion.
Già nel 2012,
As
durante il
early as
Gen Fest di
2012,
Budapest,
during the
i
Gen
giovani
Fest
del
in
movimento dei
Budapest,
focolari
the young
avevano
people of
ben
the
chiara
Focolare
l'identità
movement
di
already
United
had a
World
clear
Project,
vision of the identity of the United World Project.
un programma che crea e
A
promuove la
program that
cultura della
builds and
fraternità a
promotes
livello
a
dei
culture of
singoli,
fraternity at
delle
the level of
comunità e
individuals,
delle istituzioni.
communities, and
Dal
institutions.
2012
Since
United World
2012,
Project è
the United
cresciuto,
World Project has grown,
coinvolgendo sempre più
involving
persone
more
di
and more
tutte le età,
people of all
culture
ages,
e
cultures,
attitudini,
and
che
backgrounds
hanno inciso
who have
attivamente in
actively
diversi
made an
campi della
impact
vita
in
sociale.
various fields of social life.
United World Project,
The
infatti,
United World
significa
Project
sporcarsi le
means
mani,
acting concretely,
incontrando e mettendo
meeting
insieme
and bringing
persone,
together
ma anche
people,
associazioni
but also
e movimenti
associations and
che hanno a
movements
cuore il bene
committed
comune
to the
e che
common
agiscono
good
avendo come
and working
obiettivo un
toward a
sogno
global
globale,
dream,
il mondo unito.
a united world.
The
Deep contradictions of our time demand a strong and incisive guiding principle. New categories of thought and action capable of engaging both individuals and entire peoples with their economic, social, and political systems. There is a universal idea already being lived out that is proving able to bear the weight of this historic challenge: universal fraternity.
United World Project
The United
ha
World
accolto questa
Project
sfida
has taken
e
on
la
this
porta
challenge
avanti attraverso
and
i
carries
suoi
it
tre
forward
pilastri.
through its three pillars.
Le United
The
World
United
News
World News,
danno voce a tutte
giving
quelle
voice
storie
to
e
all those
progetti,
stories and
piccoli o grandi
projects,
che
either big or
siano,
small,
che raccontano
that
una
show
fraternità
universal
universale
fraternity
già in
already
atto.
in action.
La United World
The United World Community,
uno spazio
an
aperto
open
a
space
persone
for
di tutte le
people
età,
of all
che lavorano
ages
insieme,
working
mettendo a
together,
disposizione le
sharing their
proprie
skills
competenze
and
e passioni
passions to
per
bring
portare la
fraternity
fraternità
into the
negli ambiti
social
sociali in
spheres
cui agiscono,
where they operate,
attraverso azioni,
through
dibattiti,
actions, debates,
progetti e
projects,
networking.
and networking.
La United World Week,
The United World Week,
un appuntamento
an
annuale
annual
dal 1°
event
al
from the
7
1st of
maggio,
May to the
dove
7th
in
of
tutto il
May,
mondo,
where
nello
all
stesso
over the
momento,
world, at the
i
same time,
partecipanti di
United World Project participants
realizzano attività e
carried out
iniziative ispirate
activities and
all'unità e alla
initiatives
pace,
inspired by
per
unity and
testimoniare
peace,
all'opinione pubblica
to show the
che un
public
mondo
that a
unito
united
è
world
possibile.
is possible.
E tu accetti
So,
questa sfida?
will you take on this challenge?
United World Project.
United World Project.
Make a visible change.
Make visible change.
Questo pomeriggio esploreremo il tema
This afternoon, we will
spazi di pace.
explore the topic
Come
Spaces
possiamo
of
crearli
Peace.
qui e ora?
How can we create them?
Il programma è stato pensato
The
e
program has
preparato
been
da tre
thought and
community:
prepared by three
pace e
communities:
diritti umani,
peace and human
innovazione e
rights,
ricerca, arte e impegno sociale.
education and research,
Presenteremo
art
tre
and social
progetti in
commitment.
atto:
We will present different experiences, proposals, and we'll dive deep into this topic with some experts. Before starting, we want to share with you a brief speech of Margaret Karam, the president of the Focolare movement. These really important words were addressed to the youth present in Brazil last year in the GenFest, and they are really important for today's world. We have just listened to stories of peace, expressed in the most diverse ways. Songs, prayers, experiences, and concrete projects. All of this strengthens our trust and hope that it is possible to be builders of peace. Pope Francis says that we must be every day artisans of peace. And to do this, we need perseverance and patience, so we can look with love upon all the brothers and sisters we meet along our path. From this GenFest, we have learned that peace begins with me, through small gestures of care for people, for our communities, and for the world. So, where can we start? We have said it many times over these days, by breaking down all the barriers that divide us, so we can live for fraternity. And we can do this by discovering that our shared humanity is more important than all our differences. And by being ready to forgive and to make gestures of reconciliation. Because to forgive means saying to the other, you are worth much more than your actions. And just as we did during the first phase of GenFest, let's continue, even when we return home, to be artisans of peace in our relationships, taking the first step towards others. Love, then, will inspire us in what to do and whom to go to. Let's forgive, without waiting for the other person to ask for forgiveness. May this GenFest be the moment of our yes to peace. Let us never feel alone again. In these past days, we have seen and surely experienced the strength of together, juntos. Let's join all those who live and work for peace. The communities we will build in Phase 3 are already a concrete path forward. I'll end with a beautiful poem entitled Peace is Built. Open your eyes to visions of peace. Speak a language of peace. Make gestures of peace. Because the practice of peace leads to peace. Peace reveals itself and is offered to those who carry it out, day after day, in all the ways they are capable of. Open your heart and your eyes, speak and act. And so, let's not rest until we make peace a reality.
Ascoltare queste parole di
Listening
Margaret
these
ai
words
Gen
of
Fest
Margaret at
davvero
Gen
molto
Fest was really
toccante,
touching for
è
me.
emozionante
It moved
e ha
me
fatto
and
sentire
it made me
parte di qualcosa di
think,
più
made me
grande.
feel part of
Quello che
something
è rimasto
bigger.
dentro di me
What
è
remained
questo, che
in
non sono
me
da
after
sola.
these words is this:
Con le
it's that I'm not
communities ho
alone.
capito qualcosa
With
di
the
importante.
communities, I understood
Siamo una
something really
repubblica
important.
fatta di
We are a
persone
lively
impegnate a
network made
costruire
of
pace
people that
e
are
fraternità
committed to build
con
peace
ciò
and
che hanno di più
fraternity
unico,
with what they
le
have
proprie
of most
passioni e
unique,
i propri
their
talenti.
passions and their
E
talents.
questo è qualcosa di
And this
molto
is something
potente,
really,
perché quando
really
mettiamo ciò che
important,
siamo al
because
servizio degli altri,
when
qualcosa
we
si trasforma,
give the others
noi
what
ci
we have,
trasformiamo.
then something
In
is
quel
transformed and
momento
we
Margaret ci ha
ourselves are
ricordato una cosa
transformed.
molto
In that
importante.
moment,
Ci ha detto,
Margaret remind
ora
us
il Gen
something
Fest non
important.
finisce,
Now the Gen
ma
Fest
continua
does not
proprio
end,
nelle United
but
World
it continues
Communities,
with the United World
dove resteremo
communities,
connessi
where we
sia
will
globalmente
stay
che
connected
localmente.
both globally and
Sono
locally.
sicura che
I
quando
am sure
rimarrete nei
that
vostri
when we will
paesi
go
e
back
nelle vostre
home
città,
and to your
capirete che,
cities, you will understand
capirete in cosa
you will
volete
understand
impegnarvi,
in what
in
you
base
want to
ai
be
vostri
committed
interessi, ai vostri
according to your
studi o alle
interests,
vostre
your studies, or
professioni,
your
in
professions,
economia, in
in
dialogo
economics,
interculturale,
intercultural
nella
dialogue,
pace, nella
peace,
salute, nella
health,
politica
politics,
e
and so
così
many
via,
things.
eccetera. Allora oggi vogliamo
And so
chiederci
today we
insieme
want to ask
come si
ourselves
lavora in
together, how
comunità.
do you work in a
E Denise ci
community?
racconterà un
And
po'
so
di sé.
Denise will tell this about,
Sì, Mariane,
will tell about
ricordiamo
this.
una cosa fondamentale,
Yeah, we remind something
che
really
per creare una
important.
community
To
nelle
create a
nostre città, nei
community in
nostri
your
territori,
city or in your
bastano
territory,
alcuni semplici passi.
only a few
Prima di
steps are
tutto,
necessary.
scegliere la
First,
community,
choose your
cioè quel
community.
tema e
So the
questa
topic
passione.
that you prefer.
Poi invitare almeno
Then
un'altra
invite at
persona a
least another
iniziare con
person to
noi,
start with
perché una
you,
community è
because a
formata da due
community
persone
is
o più.
formed by two
E
people or
poi
more.
compilare un
And then
modulo
fill in the
per
form
registrare la
to
nostra
register your
community nella
community
rete
in the global
globale.
network.
E come ultimo
And
step,
then after the last step,
iniziare appunto
you
ad
have
agire
to
sul nostro
start
territorio, nella
acting
nostra
on
città,
in your territory, in your
seguendo il
city,
metodo 6 per
following the
1.
method 6 x
Mariane,
1.
scusami, ma come funziona questa
Marianne,
fase
but
dell'azione?
how does this phase of the
Allora, è
action
molto
work?
facile trovare il nostro
It's
materiale, che è il
super
6 per
easy
1,
to
6
find
passi per un
our
obiettivo.
material, the 6
Vediamolo
times 1
insieme. Quindi, per
steps
trovare questo
to get
materiale,
there.
vai sul nostro
So to
link
find this
tree, che
material,
troverai anche
go
qui
to
nella
this
chat,
to
e
our
anche
link
sul
tree that you
profilo
will
del
find here in
Instagram,
the chat
United
and
World
also in
Project,
the
e anche sul
Instagram
nostro
profile of
sito,
the United World
chiaramente.
Project and on our
Clicca
website as well.
sul How to Create Your
Click on the
Community
link How to
e
Create Your
poi vai al passo
Community
4 nel
and
file
then go
PDF,
to
dove
stage
troverai
4
il
in
link
the
e il
PDF
manuale
file.
completo,
You will
molto
find there the
semplice,
complete
visivo e
manual, which is really
pratico,
simple,
pensato per
visive, and
qualsiasi
practical.
gruppo con le
It
risorse
is
che ha a
thought for every
disposizione.
group with the resources
Il
you
metodo,
have at your
no, il
disposal.
metodo 6 per 1
The
è
method
una
6 times
metodologia
1
di
is a
apprendimento
methodology
e
of
servizio sociale.
learning and social service.
Attraverso questo
Through this
percorso
path, we
impariamo ad
learn
agire con un
to
impatto
act with
locale
a
e un'azione
local
globale.
impact and a global
In
vision.
6 passi
In 6
diventiamo
stages, 6
perciò
steps,
capaci di
we
osservare,
become then capable of
pianificare e
observing,
trasformare ciò
planning,
che
and
ci
transforming
circonda.
what is around us.
Cominciamo ora a vederli
Let's
uno
see
per uno,
now
questi
each of
step,
these
e
steps one by one,
immaginiamo
and
insieme
let's imagine
come
together
potremmo
how we
sognare, no? Un
could
progetto
dream
proprio
a
del nostro
project for our
territorio.
territory.
Non so se possiamo mandare il
Maybe we
PowerPoint.
can share the PowerPoint now.
Ecco, così è più facile anche seguire.
Okay, so then it's easier to follow.
Un attimo solo.
Just 1 second.
Perfetto.
Ecco,
Okay, perfect.
ecco, qui li vedete tutti e 6.
Here you see the
Ecco, il primo
6
step
steps.
è
The first
osservare.
one is
Ecco,
to observe.
osservare ciò che accade intorno a noi.
So to observe
E
what's
questa prima
happening
fase ci
around
invita
us.
a cambiare
This
lo
first
sguardo
phase invites us
e
to
capire qual è
change
la
the way we look
realtà
at
in cui
things.
viviamo,
So what is the reality we
quali
live in?
situazioni
What
ci toccano,
situations
quali
move
ferite
us?
esistono nel nostro
What wounds
quartiere, nella
exist
zona
in
dove
our
viviamo, nella
neighborhood,
città,
school,
all'università, al
city,
lavoro. Ecco, questa
in
è
our
una
workplace?
attenzione attiva,
This
è il
is an
punto di
active
partenza.
attention. It's the starting point.
Ecco, poi abbiamo il secondo step che è
Then
scegliere.
the second step
Questo
is
per
to
osservare,
choose.
scegliere. Ecco, dobbiamo mettere insieme le nostre
So we
idee
have to put
e
together
scegliere
our
con
ideas
riflettimento.
and
Dopo aver osservato,
choosing,
riflettiamo
thinking really
insieme
about it. So after
e
observing,
capiamo che cosa è
we
più
have to
urgente,
reflect and
dove
understand
possiamo
what's more
intervenire.
urgent, where we can intervene, and what is more important for our community. So we decide together, listening to all the voices. After this passage, we go to the third step, which is to involve, because together we're stronger. So it means to involve who is already on this path, but also we need to invite who lives that problem, who is already active on the territory, who has competencies and experiences in this field. We need to unite our forces to reach together our goal. So perfect. And then we have the fourth stage, which is to plan and act. To plan and act concretely with clear tasks, deadlines, and objectives. We put our project into practice. And it's how we go from dream to action, with simplicity, concreteness, and participation. The next step, the fifth one, is to evaluate. So we need to improve ourselves, evaluate constantly our action. During our path, we need to stop from time to time and to reflect. So what are we learning? What is working? What is not working? How can we improve? We have to celebrate our results and also learn from the difficulties. The last step is to celebrate with the group. So after an important stage or 1 year of this path, we need to be together to celebrate. So we need to go over what we've done. And so here it is. This is the method 6 times 1. It's a really simple method to make things happen. And now it's up to you. So what do you dream to realize with our community? If you have questions, write them in the chat, because we are here to accompany you in this. Now we go to a really special moment of sharing experiences. I invite here now Rafaela Brito, who is a member of the Community Peace and Human Rights, and I invite her to present herself and to tell us a little more about her project, Speaking Law in Brazil. Hello, everybody. My name is Rafaela Brito. I'm Brazilian. I'm a lawyer, political scientist, and theologian. I am the vice president of the Brazilian Institute for Education in Rights and Fraternity. The question is, how do you create a community? First of all, you need minds and hearts willing to set out on the journey. Wherever you are, there are surely people with similar dreams, eager to build something together. One second, sorry. Intergenerational collaboration is also essential in this path. Everyone has a talent, or more than one, and something that makes their heart beat faster. In my case and for the Institute, it's about building a community of talents focused on education. We dedicate ourselves to spreading legal knowledge to promote citizenship among students in public schools. Our goal is for these youth to empower these young people to graduate and become peacemakers in their schools, families, and communities. We are a group of legal professionals from diverse fields, working together with educators, pedagogues, and other specialists to create an environment dedicated to promoting human rights. We bring citizenship education to young people in public schools across whole Brazil, from north to south, east to west. With the experience of having already trained nearly 12,000 students, the course Speaking Law is one of the Institute's main educational initiatives. Its content explains the fundamental rights of Brazilian citizens: the right to life, health, housing, education, diversity, family protection, democratic participation, and many others. At the same time, the course addresses the fundamental duties, so understanding and respecting criminal, labor and environmental laws, as well as every citizen's political and civil responsibilities. Steps for Peace means exactly this: walking together, insisting on a fraternal journey where no young person is left behind. Then also teaching rights, but also duties, and promoting active and fraternal citizenship. We wholeheartedly believe that the human right to education, the human right to diversity, and the human right to democratic participation are pillars for building a fairer and more inclusive society. These rights are not just abstract concepts. They are concrete tools to transform lives, schools, and communities. Through Steps for Peace, we carry this mission forward every day, with small but determined steps, building a future where no one is left behind. I now leave you with a video where the students of the Institute themselves share in their own words a bit of their experience. For us, it's important that you see the transformation through the eyes of those who have lived this path. Thank you very much. The course opened up so many things. It really broadened my mind, you know? I learned about my rights as a citizen and within society. Being here means seeing that regardless of your situation or where you come from, you have the opportunity to grab hold of something with all your strength. And they really did that. I often get emotional because there are so many moments, but I can tell you about a special one with Samara, who has an intellectual disability. This was known from the very beginning. Her mother came with great care and she participated fully in the whole process. Despite the challenges, she was incredibly brave just to be there and to contribute for the project. So when I speak about her and others too, it really touches my heart. It moves me because you realize how much they've grown. I'm truly very happy. There are people who say, but it's not possible. Well, I went to school and pursued my dream. I want to become a legal professional. Because this project, you could say, is about showing students that they have access to justice. But it's never just that. They discover themselves as citizens, they discover friendship, they realize they can dream, that they can be whatever they want to be. Regardless of where they come from, they realize it's their own choice to become something. We're capable of achieving what we want. We just have to go after it, study and believe we can reach our goals. The Falar do Direito project confirms and affirms that transformation is possible. We are certain that we've carried out an extraordinary mission, exchanging the experiences needed to strengthen these young people's journeys toward realizing their dreams. My dream was to study law. I used to want to study psychology. Now I want to study law. I want to enroll in the course because of the knowledge I have now. I used to think it was something really boring, but now I find it very interesting. We experienced a really special moment in the project when Dr. Felipe, the judge who taught the class, brought in his robe. At the end of the lesson, when he took it off and invited the students to try it on, it was beautiful to see the light in their eyes, because they had never seen it up so close before. And I felt that same emotion when they wore the robe. That dream felt very close to them. I never thought I'd have such a new experience in the field of law. It's like music, you know? I was very impressed and very happy to see how engaged they were. how eager they were to learn, how interested they were in seizing this opportunity to grow as citizens, and how asking for their rights, fulfilling their duties, and becoming more and more active citizens who will surely help make our country better. Before I thought I wouldn't make it, that I wouldn't understand anything, but the language was very accessible. You could see that the teachers really captured the class's attention and were deeply committed to each lesson and each topic. Community justice does work for the community, within the community, and this project, held here in our own space, only reinforces that goal. For us, this year was a great achievement. The Institute, in collaboration with the Court and Community Justice, was able to carry out a project where we can already see changes in these young people, in their schools, in their neighborhoods, and this city. I think it went by quickly, but I learned a lot, and I want to keep learning more. So we can only thank everyone, the teachers, the staff, all the people who are here today and who gave us this opportunity. Thank you so much. Thank you from the heart.
Grazie Raffaella, grazie che
Thank you, Raffaella. Thank you for sharing this beautiful experience that can inspire us. And now maybe you are wondering, where do I have to click and how do I do to connect my project of fraternity, which is already active in my territory, with the whole global network of the communities? Or if you want to create a community with other people of your territory, where do I have to enroll to receive the support of our international team and being involved in the global network? Don't worry, we will go through every step now together. So you will receive a link to our form that you can find also on the website of the United World Project or on our Instagram through the link in the bio. So now, let's see the first page. First, click on the link of the enrollment link and choose one of the objectives we mentioned together. Now I will try with this one. I have already an active project in my territory, and if we click there, we will see the questions. The first questions are about some personal data that we ask you to be able to contact you afterwards. Then we ask you to tell us something more about the project that is already active. How many people are involved? What topics of the communities are involved in this project? What is the main goal of this group? What activities do you do? And finally, what objective would you like to reach entering in the network of the communities? So it's really easy and really fast to do this. And after you send the form, we will contact you. So you see the form here. And now let's try. And now let's see what's the second option. So if you want to create a community in my city, in my neighborhood, what are the questions in this case? So let's click on the second option. And even here, we collect some personal information to then stay in contact with you. And we ask you to tell us your motivation in creating a community. And then we ask you to describe the main challenges that you and your group will face. And then what's the objective that you want to establish in the international network of the communities. So this information will come to us, and then we will contact you via mail or WhatsApp, and then you will receive all the material like the 6x1 steps. Then also if you need help in the project design phase, or if you want contacts of other communities. The only thing is to be part of the international network so we can know you and that you do something. And now all these links will be sent in the chat, and you can find them in all the channels of the United World Project. Now I invite Erika, who will make us play a little bit, so to see if we all understood what the communities are. So Erika, over to you.
Ciao a tutti, sono Esperienza.
Hello everybody.
Che abbiamo sentito, vorremmo chiedervi una domanda.
So after this experience of Raffaella, we want to ask you a question that you can access through Slido. And this is the question. What do you think is important to create a community based on what we understood today? So after the beautiful experience of Raffaella, and after everything she explained, after everything Marianne explained, in your opinion, what do you think is important to create a community on your territory or in your city? So please scan the QR code or go to that website slido.com, and you have to insert this code 7513267 to send your answers. What do you think, Marianne? Do we give them 3 minutes, 2 minutes to do that? For the people to answer the question? Is it okay? Yes, perfect. In 2 minutes, we will see some of the answers that will arrive. We sent the link to the Slido to the chat, so you can click on it as well and write what you think. Thank you, Erika.
Già abbiamo qui alcune risposte, come relazione, passione, intergenerazionalità, giustissimo. Avere delle idee chiare da perseguire. Potete anche scrivere nelle vostre lingue, va bene?
You can also write on in your languages. There's no need to do it only in Italian. So we have people, desire, commitment, local action.
Wow, tante belle
Wow,
risposte.
so many answers.
Progettare, pensare.
So to project design, think, care,
Collaborare.
collaborate,
impegno,
commitment,
sete di giustizia,
justice,
lavoro,
work,
mhm, sogno,
dream,
proposito,
goal,
passione in varie lingue
passion
anche.
in many languages as well.
Bellissimo, avete capito
This is
molto
beautiful.
bene,
So you
wow.
understood the assignment. Very good.
Bellissimo, grazie mille per le vostre risposte.
This is beautiful.
e per
Thank
la
you so much for your
vostra
answers
apertura.
and for your
Grazie, grazie.
openness. Thank you.
Bellissimo, grazie Erika. E
Thank you,
adesso
Erika.
invitiamo Sara,
And now
che
we
fa
invite
parte anche
Sara,
della community di educazione e
who is
ricerca.
part of the
Lei si
community
presenterà
education and
e anche
research. She will introduce
farà
herself,
l'introduzione di una bella
and she
esperienza
will
che
also
riguarda le
introduce
risposte
another
dell'educazione.
beautiful experience
Quindi
that
Sara,
we
adesso
will
con voi.
listen on education. Sara, over to you.
Io sono Sara, sono una
Hello,
psicologa
everybody.
e vengo dal
I'm
nord
Sara. I'm a
dell'Italia.
psychologist. I come from southern
Sono
Italy,
entrata nel board
and I've
internazionale della
just
community
joined
di educazione e ricerca.
international board of the
Allora,
community
per
education
provare
and
a conoscere
research.
meglio le nostre
So
community,
to
ascolteremo
try
adesso
knowing something
un'esperienza
more about our
concreta
community,
nell'ambito
we will
dell'educazione
listen
che
now
viene
to a
da
concrete
Prato,
experience
Italia,
in the field of
dove un gruppo
education
di
that comes
volontari
from
ha
Prato in
progettato un
Italy,
doposcuola
where a group of
bello così,
volunteers
un vero e
created
proprio
an
spazio
after-school program,
dove facevano
building
scambio.
a real space for peace where we needed it more. But now Sandra and Emma will tell us more about that.
Ciao a tutti, io sono
Hello,
Sandra,
everybody.
sono
I am
Sandra
Sandra.
in chiaro rapporto intergenerazionale con
And clearly with Emma, you see we are of different generations. So Emma will start introducing herself. Hello, everybody. I am Emma. I have a degree in psychology, and I've collaborated for many years with Sandra at the After School Romero, which is a project that is really a peculiar thing about Prato. Prato is the third city of central Italy for the number of people. After Rome and Florence, it has more or less 200,000 people. Its recent history is strictly linked to the textile industry, in particular concerning recycled fibers. So even today, more or less the 80% of the fabrics produced in Prato is produced with recycled fibers. But another peculiarity of Prato is its multiculturality. Here, there are more or less 120 different ethnicities, and there are many people from a Chinese origin. They make up 1/6 of the population, which is one of the highest percentages of Europe. Diversity is particularly visible in schools, where in some institutes, more than 70% of students is of a migrant origin. This is richness for Prato, but it is also a great challenge because school is one of the central places where you have to build day by day, living together with different cultures and languages. So I am Sandra, as I was saying before. I am a retired professor, and I, together with Emma and others of the After School Romero, I volunteer there. And we want to show you now a video. It's one of the first videos that we made. And now in the After School Romero is very well known in Prato, and you will see like people underage, but we have all the permissions to do that. So the video can show now.
Io penso che questa realtà possa rappresentare al meglio Prato,
I
perché
believe
Prato
this
è una
initiative
realtà
truly represents Prato as its best because Prato is a city with many aspects. And investing in projects like this one means investing in Prato and in the Prato of the future. In the working class Jescal housing area, the Prato of today and of tomorrow is being built. Here in the neighborhood civic center, every Wednesday and Friday afternoon, there's the Romero after school program, where twice a week retired teachers and university students dedicate a bit of their time to help middle school and early school students with their homework. For 2 hours, squeezed in the same room, the students all speak Italian, but once they go home, the languages spoken are Chinese, Bengali, Pakistani, Moroccan, and Indian. Oscar Romero always cared about the less lucky people among us, and we too have chosen to work with those kids who may face more challenges than others. This is then a support-oriented after-school program. They learn a lot. And you, what are you learning? Without a doubt, I'm learning how to relate to many kids with very different and sometimes very difficult backgrounds, and each one needs their own kind of sensitivity and a different approach. Eduardo is a 23-year-old university student who chose to tutor Youssef, who's from Morocco, and needs a bit of help reading and understanding texts. And Giacomo as well, a Chinese student working on a technical drawing. Then there's Abdullah, 20 years old, born in Pakistan but raised in Prato, who's helping Ozaze with math exercises. At another table, Lucia, a former high school teacher, sits with 2 young girls reviewing their lessons. I learned, for example, from Elin. She taught me about some Chinese myths. I had fun, really. From other kids, I picked up a few words here and there. So I tried to combine the useful with the enjoyable, really. The initiative was launched last year by Association Polis, a group of active citizens whose motto is Fraternity as a Political Category. I've always believed that culture makes a difference in a person's life. Sometimes, especially in middle school, there are difficulties, like not being Italian, or if you are Italian, not having the support at home that can sometimes give you that extra push. Here you can find the support. And that's why I want to stress that culture can change a young person's life if they find the right help and someone who makes them passionate about learning. In this endeavor, Association Polis managed to involve a great group of retired teachers who chose to make the most of their time doing what they do best, teaching and spending time with young people. When I retired last year, I basically slept for the first month. I deserved it after 40 years. Then I started looking for something that would spark my interest. And I thought of an after-school tutoring because teaching is what I know best. That's when the idea came to involve other retired teachers like me who still had the desire to teach. And I found quite a few. More and more joined, and now we come here twice a week to help these kids, mostly referred to us by the Don Milani Institute. But now we've even opened it up to high schoolers who are our former students who keep coming back to the program. The interaction and time spent together between kids of different nationalities is really positive. I see them helping each other, lending supplies, and that has a very positive impact on learning and on the children themselves. So I really believe that the school and society of the future will be built with these children. Otherwise, it will be very difficult. Here I'm trying to give a hand to a beautiful and growing initiative. There are so many kids who need help, who need to socialize, to get closer to Italian language, since many are of foreign nationality, and in general to engage with school. Of course, what we do is just a drop in the ocean, but we do our best.
Ecco, già questo video dice, no? Un po' quella che è la
So
realtà.
this video says what's this reality. I wanted just to explain it a little better. So the tutors are both retired teachers, but also university students, and university students are paid for this because we participated in fundings and call for applications that normally we get to win, both national and European call for applications. And as I said, there are also retired teachers who works as volunteers. The work is done personalizing the intervention for each kid, and because we want really to help the poorest and the poorest people in the society, and they don't pay anything. This year, we had many kids, 25 more or less, and next year we have already 61 of them who subscribed. Because the experience now is being shared, many people are subscribing, and so now we try to give an answer to everybody. This year, compared to the terrible situations that we had at the beginning, for example, there was Ulysses, he's from Africa, and he was taking care of his two little siblings, and he couldn't go to school basically because he had to take care of the younger siblings. And thanks to the after school, he managed to pass the school year successfully. Then there was another one, a Pakistani kid, that during the school year had to go back to Pakistan because his family wanted to send him there. And in June, he came back to Prato, and he was basically meant not to pass the year, but also with an intensive course, he managed to pass it the year thanks to our help. With a means of a mark of 7, which in Italy is not bad. Then we have another kid, Achille, who did not pass the year in first year of high school. He's also from Pakistan with 7 siblings, and thanks to our help, he
No, ma non quello.
Emma?
Eccoci, allora ringrazio Sandra
Yeah.
per quello che ha detto e riporto
Yeah, thank
un
you,
po'
Sandra,
della
for
mia
what you
esperienza
said.
personale con il doposcuola. Io credo che il
Also
doposcuola
about
sia in realtà
the personal experience with the
perché
after school.
cerca di
I think
offrire uno
that the after
spazio
school is a
dove ogni
really
ragazzo
positive
si senta
experience
senza
because
paura.
every
Io lo
kid is
consiglio,
followed with
ecco,
attention and
forse
care.
una
I
maggiore
think that it
aiutanza ai
is a
ragazzi,
little
per me
step
è la
towards
base per una
more
convivenza
unity
pacifica.
between kids,
Poi
which
dal
is
punto
at the
di vista
basis of
strettamente personale,
peaceful
l'esperienza in
living
scuola è stata
together.
molto arricchente.
On a
Mi
personal
ha
point of
insegnato
view,
a
this
comprendere
experience has
meglio
been
le
really
prospettive
enriching
altrui
for
e
me
cercare
because
di
it
trovare
helped me
comuni.
understanding different
Questo
points of
per
view
prima
and
cosa è
how
favorire
to
la
find a common
collaborazione tra
ground
noi
with different people.
universitari e insegniamo
The
fuori
collaboration between
persone
us, university
che erano
students
comunque
and
persone di una
teachers, was
generazione
really
diversa dalla
key.
nostra, ma con cui abbiamo
And we
costruito
also
insieme il
learned
progetto educativo
how
che
to
come
build
scuola
together
hanno
this
per anni. E in
this
secondo luogo ho
education
imparato
project.
che ogni
And
ragazzo ha
secondly, I
esigenze
learned that
diverse,
every
non
kid
solo
has
perché hanno la propria
different needs,
individualità,
not only
ma
because
anche
each
perché
one of them
spesso
has its own
entrando
individuality,
nell'autoscuola
but
proveniva da
also
un
because
periodo
in the case
culturale
of the after
diverso
school,
dal
each one
mio.
of them was
Questo
coming
mi ha
from a
insegnato a
different
fermarmi un
background, different
attimo
from
prima
mine.
di parlare
And
e
so this
agire, ad
taught me
osservare,
how to
ascoltare
stop
e soprattutto a
before
bandare
talking,
l'idea
but
che
listen,
esista
and
un
so to
solo modo
listen and
giusto di
before,
fare le
and
cose.
then giving up the idea that there is only one right way to do things.
Benissimo, grazie per
Grazie, thank you very much for this amazing experience.
aperto.
that
lo sguardo su come
let
uno
us
spazio educativo possa diventare
understand
uno spazio
how
di pace.
an
Io mi chiamo
educational
Maria
space
Teresa
can become a
Cervi,
space
abito
of
vicino a
peace.
Milano,
My name is
sono
Maria
una
Teresa Cervi.
insegnante
I live near
con
Milan. I am a
Edu
pedagogue
Education
and
for
teacher.
Unity,
I
che è
work
una
with
rete internazionale di
Education for
pedagogisti ed
Unity,
educatori
an
che
international
riflettono
network of pedagogues and
sull'educare e
educators
sull'educarsi
who reflect on how to
all'appartenenza
educate
in
and be
diversi
educated
contesti culturali.
for fraternity in different cultural
Partecipo alla
contexts.
Community Education
I am
and
part of
Research.
the Community Education and
Allora,
Research.
oggi introduco la
Today,
tavola rotonda
I
che
will
appunto
introduce
sta per
the round
iniziare.
table that will
L'incontro di
start
oggi
now.
si intitola Spazi
The
di
meeting
pace,
of today
ovvero ogni
is
disciplina
entitled Spaces
pensare in
of
termini
Peace.
di spazio
In
può
every
essere molto
discipline,
ricco.
thinking in terms
L'idea
of
di
space
spazio ha a che fare
can be
anche
very enriching.
etimologicamente con l'idea di
The idea of
estensione
space
e
is
quindi appunto di
etymologically
apertura.
linked to
Uno
extension and
spazio può essere
therefore
una
to
categoria
openness.
concreta, ma anche un
Space
concetto
can be a
astratto.
concrete category, but also an
Ogni
abstract
progetto,
concept.
di qualsiasi tipo
Every
sia,
project, no matter its
parte
nature,
anche dal considerare
also
lo
starts
spazio a
by considering the
disposizione.
spaces available.
Noi esseri umani abitiamo lo
We
spazio
human
e
beings
lo rendiamo
inhabit
nostro,
space by
antropomorfizzandolo,
anthropomorphizing
facendolo
it,
appunto
by making it
qualcosa dove
our
ci
own,
sentiamo a casa e
by
dove
making it a
possiamo
place where we can
abitare.
feel at home.
L'universo che contiene i pianeti lo chiamiamo spazio.
We even call the
Il
universe that
concetto di
holds the
sacro
planets
nasce
space.
intorno all'idea di
The concept of
delimitare uno
sacred
spazio
arises
intoccabile
from the
da uno
idea
spazio diverso,
of separating an
profano,
untouchable
davanti al
space
tempio.
from a different one,
Ecco,
the
lo
profane
spazio è qualcosa
space
di
literally in
centrale
front of the
nel
temple.
nostro essere nel mondo.
So space is
È nello
something really
spazio
key
che
of
siamo
us
liberi
being
di
in the world.
muoverci e agire
It is in the
nei fatti
space, within
concreti e nel
space, that we are
pensiero.
free to move and act in both
Pedagogicamente
physical
parlando,
deeds
lo
and
spazio è
thought.
fondamentale.
From a
Spesso
pedagogical
pensiamo all'educazione
perspective,
come un
space
fatto
is
di
essential.
relazione,
We
ma in
often think
realtà
of
la
education
relazione
as
non
a matter
basta.
of relationships,
Molti pedagogisti,
but actually
soprattutto dalla fine
it's not enough.
dell'Ottocento in poi,
Many
hanno
pedagogues,
capito che
especially from the
organizzare
late
lo
19th
spazio è
century onwards,
fondamentale per educare.
understood that
Uno
organizing
dei
space
riferimenti
is
che possiamo
fundamental to
fare più
education.
famosi è quello
One
di
of the
Maria
most well-known
Montessori,
references
una
is Maria
pedagogista
Montessori,
italiana di fama
the
mondiale, che
world-renowned
vuole educare i
Italian
bambini
pedagogue
alla
who
libertà e alla
aimed to
pace.
educate children to be
Per fare
free.
questo, fin da subito
To
si
do
rese
this,
conto che deve
she
lavorare
quickly
proprio sullo
realized she
spazio,
had to rethink and
ripensandolo.
reshape the physical
Farà
space.
costruire delle sedie e dei banchi
She designed
piccoli,
small chairs and desks,
progetterà del materiale
created
didattico
educational
che le
materials
persone piccole
that
possono appunto
children could
utilizzare
use
da sole
independently,
e direttamente.
and viewed
Considererà spazio di apprendimento
the
tutta la
entire
scuola e non
school,
solo
not
l'aula.
only just the
La sua
classroom, as a
scuola
learning
deve essere
environment.
casa dei bambini.
Her school
Deve
had
essere,
to
come
be a
scrive lei,
children's
a misura
house,
di
as she
bambino.
called it, a
Solo
space
così
tailored to the
possiamo
child.
crescere i bambini
Only in
in
this way
autonomia, imparando e
only in this way could
sperimentando la
children grow in
libertà, i
autonomy,
movimenti e
learning
quindi
and
poi pian piano libertà nei
experiencing
pensieri.
freedom on their movements,
Oggi molti
and
autori
eventually
ed
in their
autori si
thinking.
occupano e si
Today,
preoccupano
many
di quello
authors
che
and
viene
educational
chiamato
approaches
setting, che ha a che
focus
fare
on what is
appunto con
called the setting,
l'organizzazione dello
which
spazio
concerns how
e con lo
space is
spazio, i
organized.
tempi e le
And
regole.
with
Insomma,
space,
educhiamo con e attraverso lo spazio.
so
Abitato,
we
preparato,
educate with and
predisposto,
through space,
pensato.
an inhabited,
Ritorno
prepared
quindi al
space.
titolo
We
di
must
oggi,
make
Spazi di
space.
pace.
So I go
Per
back to
educare
the
ed
title of
autoeducarci
today's
alla
Spaces of
pace è
Peace.
necessario fare
First,
spazio. Prima di tutto fuori di noi.
to
Pensare lo
reimagine,
spazio e in particolare ripensare senza annullare
we have to
gli spazi di
rethink,
conflitto e divergenza. Nella vita
we
di
have to
tutti i
reimagine
giorni e nello
space,
spazio
particularly by
pubblico,
rethinking
costruire degli
spaces
spazi
of
per
conflict and
l'incontro nella
divergence.
diversità,
In daily life
per
and
far
public space,
dialogare
we must
le
build
parti e quindi
spaces
aprire
where
tavoli di
diversity
collaborazione.
can meet, where
E poi,
different sides can
infine,
engage in dialogue,
chiave di
opening
volta,
up paths for
creare spazio
collaboration.
dentro di noi.
And then
Ci
finally,
vuole
but most
spazio dentro di noi
importantly,
per la
we have
pace.
to create space
E così
within
abbiamo
ourselves.
scelto questo
We
tema
must
dello
make space
spazio,
within
perché vi
us
ho
for
detto qualcosa
peace.
rispetto alla
This is
riflessione
why we chose the
pedagogica, anche
theme
se ho
of
proprio abbozzato
space. I
qualche
told you
concetto,
something about
ma
the
adesso entriamo più nel vivo della
pedagogical
tavola
reflection on
rotonda
it.
e
And I will
invito quindi
open
Maria
the
Choi
round
Funk,
table and
che
I
è
will
un'architetta
invite Maria Choi
urbanista,
Fang.
insegnante
She is an architect and
che vive
urbanist.
nelle
She's
Filippine,
teacher and
lavora in diversi
educator.
quartieri e
She works in
appunto con il
different
suo lavoro e sviluppo
neighborhoods,
cerca di
and
contrastare
with
la
her
povertà
work
urbana
and
e rurale.
commitment, she tries to face urban poverty and rural poverty. Thank you very much, Maria Teresa. As she said, I work as architect and educator and trainer. In my work, we can learn peace through design. Now I will share my screen.
Si può insegnare la pace
So we can
attraverso il
teach
design.
peace through design.
Accanto alla scuola dove ho
Next to the school where I taught, there is the longest river in Manila. It is called the Estero, the Tripa de Galina. Along its shores, there are informal settlements. I remember how shocked I was in seeing trash being thrown directly into water. These rivers are thought as channels for the city, but they are often stuck by trash. It's not just an environmental issue, it's also a social issue. For many, this space is much more than a refuge. It's a symbol of hope. Architecture is not neutral. It can heal or hurt, it can include or exclude. Imagine a well-lit square invites dialogue. Closed gates can silence a community. Poverty can suffocate creativity and the will to do good beyond survival. This is my team and I that we work with bamboo in a big open space. In our study, we observed this image, this picture, and we wondered, for whom is this space? Who is taking the decisions for this space? What stories are we honoring? We dive ourselves deep into the communities, not only to design for them, but also with them. Many of the poor people next to our school believe they're not enough, they do not deserve beauty or cleanness. They have been brought to think that the condition they live in, it's everything they deserve. Mahatma Gandhi said, "Poverty is the worst form of violence." This quote reminds us that poverty, with its deprivations, can give deep damages, just like physical violence. How does peaceful space look like? Parks are open to everybody, regardless of their age, background, or wealth. Green spaces can reduce stress and promote mental wellness. Parks can host peaceful activities like yoga, meditation, art, and music. A redesigned park can reflect the values of harmony and inclusivity. Whether you are an artist, trainer, student, or activist, your discipline is an instrument of transformation. We design spaces that listen, that heal, that give power. So, how can you contribute? Volunteer in community design projects, support participatory art or architecture workshops, mentor youth in creative fields, advocate for inclusive public spaces, amplify and use your voices to amplify marginalized stories.
E per ultimo,
And
una
finally,
riflessione finale.
as a final reflection, we should create spaces of peace in our hearts, in our communities, in everything we do.
Ora vi invito a
And now I
riflettere
invite you to reflect
quali principi
what
dovrebbero
principles
guidare un
should
architetto o artista
guide an
orientato alla
architect
pace.
or an artist who is oriented to
Cosa
peace.
costruirai
What
per la
will you
pace?
build for peace?
Qui c'è un QR code
Here you
e
can see a
al
QR
chat
code,
potete anche trovare
and
ugualmente
in the chat you can also find
i
a
vostri
link
pensieri.
to write us
Cosa
your
ne
thoughts,
pensate?
what you think about I said.
Grazie.
Thank you very much.
Maria Teresa?
Sì, ecco. Benissimo, grazie mille del tuo
Great,
intervento.
thank you very much,
È
Loli.
davvero bellissimo, no?
It
Come
was
possiamo
great
vedere le diverse discipline che
listening how
collaborando
different
possono
disciplines,
fare proprio
when they
questo lavoro
collaborate,
di apertura.
can
Invitiamo
open
adesso Marco
themselves.
Titli
Now we
a
invite here
raccontarci la
Marco
sua
Titli
esperienza.
to tell
Marco è
us
italiano,
his
ha
experience.
studiato economia
He's
ed è
Italian,
sempre
he
stato
studied
interessato alla
economics,
politica e
and he was
impegnato per
always
diritti
interested
umani. È il
in
numero 2
politics
del
and
principale
was
partito di
always
Torino, che è una città del nord
committed
Italia.
for the
Si
common
occupa di
common good.
urbanistica per il
He's
suo quartiere,
the
lavora
second most
presso il
important
Consiglio
person of
regionale
a
del
party
Piemonte, che è una zona d'Italia,
in
e
Torino.
fa parte del
He's part
Centro
of the
Italiano
regional
del Movimento
council
Politico per
in
l'Unità.
Piemonte,
Proprio
and
nel suo
he's part of
quartiere
the
ha fatto un progetto
MPPU, the
bellissimo. Raccontaci di
movement,
più, Marco.
the political movement for unity.
Ciao a tutte, a tutti e a tutti
Hello
i vicini che
everybody.
sono noi collegati.
Hello everybody.
Grazie di essere qua. Allora,
Thank you for being here.
come dicevo, io sono Marco Titli e vengo da
As
Torino.
she was
Adesso vi faccio
saying,
vedere
I'm
una
Marco Titli, I
piccola
come from
presentazione.
Turin, and now I will share my presentation.
Sono Marco Titli e vengo da Torino, città del nord Italia.
I come from Turin, a city in northern Italy, where the process of
Vogliamo
unifying my country
portarvi
began.
un'esperienza concreta
Today,
per
I'd like to
introdurci
share
bene un
with
po' in
you
tutti
a
i
concrete and
contesti.
replicable experience,
Bisogna partire dal
something that can
fatto.
be done in
Le
almost
nostre
any
città sono
context.
città delle
Let's start
solitudini.
with a
Lo
fact.
spazio
Our
pubblico
cities are
domina
cities of
sulla proprietà
loneliness.
privata,
Public
che
space
siano
is dominated
case
by
o
private
auto.
property, whether houses
Mancano
or
luoghi di
cars.
incontro.
Places for real
Dopo
human
la
connection
pandemia,
are missing.
questo tema è venuto
After the
fuori molte
pandemic,
volte.
this
Le
issue
nostre
became
città
even more
non sono
evident.
costruite per creare
Our
comunità,
cities are
ma
not
produrre
designed to
consumo.
foster community, but
Altra
rather to encourage
constatazione. Le auto
consumption.
sono aumentate in maniera
Another
esponenziale
observation,
e sono
the number of
aumentate
cars
anche
has
come
increased
volumi.
dramatically,
Lo spazio
and not just in
pubblico è
number, but in
diventato
size
così un
too.
grande parcheggio.
As a result, public space has
Per
become one
questo,
big
proprio
parking
durante la
lot.
pandemia,
That's why,
insieme a un gruppo di
right during the
cittadini,
pandemic, a
abbiamo
group of fellow
messo nella busta
citizens and I
richieste
decided to
delle
take
abitazioni delle case
action.
intorno un
We put
invito.
an invitation into the mailboxes
L'idea
of the
era
houses
quella
around the block.
di proporre
The
un
idea was
invito a
simple,
ripensare uno
to
spazio
rethink
pubblico
public
insieme.
space together.
Abbiamo lanciato in
We
quella
launched
sede
the
l'idea di
idea of
certa
creating a square
dove c'erano solo auto
where
e cassonetti
once
dei
there were
rifiuti
only
e
cars and
un'isola
trash
con in
bins,
mezzo un'isola
separated by a
spazi
traffic
pubblico,
island,
chiudere un'area alle auto
we propose
per
to close
creare un
off the
unico
area to
spazio pedonale da
traffic
800
and turn
metri
it
quadri.
into a pedestrian space.
Alcuni cittadini erano
Some
scontenti,
residents were
erano
unhappy.
preoccupati
They
di
were
perdere
worried
i
about
posti
losing
auto
parking
e ci
spots,
sono stati momenti di
and
tensione.
there were moments
Il
of
Comune di
tension.
Torino, insieme alla
But in the end, the
circoscrizione,
city of
oltre alla
Turin, together with
rappresentanza
the
del
district
quartiere,
council,
di
which
cui
I
faccio
am part
parte,
of,
alla fine ha deciso la
agreed to start
sperimentazione.
an experiment.
È nato un luogo di
And
comunità,
so a community
pieno di
space was
iniziative
born,
diverse, dai
full of
racconti
different
di fiabe per
activities,
bambini alle
storytelling
cene
for
del vicino,
children,
all'incontro
neighborhood dinners,
multireligioso.
interfaith gatherings.
Delle persone con
People with
disabilità hanno avuto
disabilities
un luogo che prima
found
non
a
avevano.
space they didn't
Anche
have
questo si
before.
scopre in una città.
And that's something you
Esigenze
discover
nascoste.
only by creating
Ora
space.
questo spazio verrà
Hidden needs
ristrutturato
emerge.
mediante dei fondi
Now
europei.
this space will be renovated using European
Lo stesso
funds.
discorso è avvenuto con una
A
scuola.
similar initiative
Da un
happened
luogo
at a
di transito e
school
di traffico
where we
abbiamo
reimagined a
immaginato un altro
space that was
luogo, un
once just
altro
for
modo
traffic
di
and
vivere il
transit.
luogo.
Here you
Qui
can
potete vedere i
here you can
disegni.
see the designs.
Ne è nata una piazza colorata
A
che costituisce
colorful
uno spazio
square was
outdoor
created,
della
an
scuola.
outdoor extension of the school.
Ora tutte queste esperienze
All
possono essere
of these
replicate nella sua
experiences
città.
can be replicated in your
Come?
city. How?
questi passi.
Following these
Scegli
steps.
un luogo cruciale nella tua città.
Choose a crucial
Davanti ad una
location in your
scuola,
city,
ad un luogo di
in front of a
culto, ad una
school, a
biblioteca.
place of worship, or a library.
Punto numero 2. Immagina una
Second,
piccola piazza.
imagine a small
Bastano pochi
square.
posti auto,
Removing
pochi
just a
per creare
few
spazi
parking
enormi.
spots can create a huge
Cioè,
space. 3.
prediligi le strade secondarie,
Focus on
o
side
luoghi non
streets
troppo
or areas
trafficati.
that are not too busy.
4. Contatta
4.
la scuola, i
Contact the
negozi,
nearby
il luogo
school,
adiacente alla
shops,
piazza per
or
coinvolgerli
community
nel
center
progetto.
to get them involved.
5.
5.
Immagini insieme a loro come
Co-design the
potrebbe
space with
ridurre la
them.
piazza, anche utilizzando
Use tools like
l'urbanistica
tactical
pratica e alcune
urbanism
attività da
and
svolgere
plan some
insieme.
shared activities.
6.
6.
Contatta l'amministrazione
Present the
locale per
project to your
esporre
local
per esporre il tuo
authorities.
progetto. Se l'amministrazione locale
If
dichiara
they're on
l'agire,
board,
partirà
a
la
trial
sperimentazione della
period can
piazza,
begin,
con una chiusura
closing
in
the street
pratico
for a
per una
week, then
settimana,
for 2
2
weeks,
settimane,
and then
1
for
mese.
even a month.
7. Anima il
7.
quartiere nel
Bring the
periodo di
neighborhood to
sperimentazione,
life
con alcune
during the
attività.
pilot phase
Non
with a few
occorre
simple
riempire ogni
activities.
giorno di eventi.
You don't need to organize
8.
something
Alla
every
fine del
single
periodo
day.
di
8.
sperimentazione,
At the end of the
insieme
trial
all'amministrazione
period,
comunale,
celebrate with a
organizza una bella
community
festa.
event
Sarà
together with the
l'occasione per decidere
municipality.
insieme
That will
se
be the
rendere
moment to
permanente
decide whether
la
to
nuova
make
piazza.
the new square
Se ti
permanent.
serve una mano, scrivi un'email a
If you need hand, write an email to
marco.titli@gmail.com. Grazie.
marco.titli@gmail.com. Thank you very
Grazie a
much.
te, Marco. Grazie
Thank you,
davvero.
Marco. Thank you very much.
Bellissimo,
It was
molto, molto
amazing
ispirante.
and really inspiring.
Soprattutto come vedere,
Above all,
è bellissimo vedere due persone che
Above
sono in
all,
due
it was
punti del mondo
amazing
molto
seeing
lontani,
two people that are in
in
two
Italia,
two
e
opposite
però
places in
portano
the world,
avanti dei
Philippines and
progetti
Italy,
simili,
that they bring
con
forward similar
una grande
projects
utopia, ma al
with
tempo
a
stesso
big
anche poi una grande
utopia, but
concretezza
also
e davvero
with great
anche con la
concreteness,
possibilità di
and
replicare
with
in
the
tutte le
possibility
parti
to
del
replicate
mondo
these
queste
projects
idee che
anywhere in the
interessano i
world.
quartieri e
So
appunto per esempio
rethinking
di trovare
neighborhoods
nuovi spazi di incontro.
and
Se
finding
le
new
persone non si
places,
incontrano,
new
non
meeting
si
places.
conoscono e
If
fanno
people don't
progressivamente
meet,
la
they don't
guerra.
know each
La
other
guerra
and
c'è nei grandi,
they go
tra
to
i grandi
war
stati, ma c'è
much
anche una
more.
guerra
So
magari tra
war, we
vicini,
have
tra
war between big
commercianti,
countries and states, but
che
we can
davvero
also see
abitano
war
negli
between
stessi posti
like
senza però
neighbors
poi stare
and
insieme
shop
e quindi creare questi
and people working
spazi
together in the
possono,
same
insomma,
place
può
in the
davvero
city. So
cambiare, no?
creating these
Il
kind of
corso della
spaces
nostra città.
in a city
Quindi
can
grazie
really
mille.
change the
Quindi
how
lanciamo
our
in
cities
chat
look. So in the
il
chat,
Padlet che
now we
ha posto
will
prima
share the
la nostra
Padlet
architetta,
that
se qualcuno
our
vuole
architects
condividere qualche
proposed.
idea,
So if anybody wants
qualcosa che ha
to
visto, qualche
share
desiderio che ha,
ideas,
insomma, vi lasciamo
any wish
qualche
you
minuto.
have, we leave you some minutes to do that.
La domanda è appunto,
And
tu
the
puoi
question
creare
is,
spazi di pace, partecipare e creare spazi di pace nella
the question
nostra
is, you
comunità.
can
Cosa ne
create,
pensate? Se
you can create spaces of peace in your city. What do you think about it? Write to us.
Ecco, intanto vedo che c'è qualcuno che sta scrivendo.
I see that somebody is already writing on the Padlet.
Poi lasceremo il Padlet
And then
aperto
we will
alla
leave
fine
the
del nostro
Padlet
incontro,
open
quindi se
even
qualcuno vuole
after
salvarsi
our
il
meeting. So
link,
if anybody
può
wants
anche scrivere
to
nelle
save
prossime
the
ore
link,
e
you
potremo
can the
leggere
next hours or days
le
you can
cose degli altri.
write, and we can read them what the others write.
E così possiamo intanto proseguire con la nostra
So now we
tavola
can go
rotonda.
on with our round table. And now it's the time to listen to Carlos Palma. He was born in Uruguay. He studied philosophy in Uruguay and he studied also theology in Jerusalem. He lived for 30 years in the Middle East, in many countries in the Middle East. And since 2022, he's been living in Rome, in Italy. He dedicated 45 years to the building of a new culture of fraternity. Thanks to his commitment, he organized congresses, festivals, forums, and he works concretely for peace. Since 2012, he launched the educational project Living Peace International, and he's the coordinator of this project. So, Carlos, you did an amazing experience concerning space and peace. So, we talked about city, but we can build a space for peace also in the Mediterranean, in the sea. Yes, exactly. This was a really original idea because we were working about peace education in schools, but this year we were invited to contribute and organize a school for peace in the Mediterranean with 35 young people from 15 different nationalities. But where did this idea begin? In 2023, Pope Francis launched a dream, a project capable of bringing peace and unity to the shores of the Mediterranean, which is a region marked by crossroads and wounds by different and often opposing cultures. The Diocese of Marseille in France embraced this vision with enthusiasm, giving life to this project, Med 25, a sailing ship of peace that from March to October 2025 is navigating the Mediterranean, connecting its 5 shores. The heart of the project is simple but revolutionary, bringing together on board of a ship young people of different cultures, religions, and nationalities, building authentic relationships and becoming together artisans of peace. In this extraordinary experience, Living Peace International, which is an expression of the Focolare movement's charism of unity, we were invited to take part in it. We accepted the invitation with deep gratitude and commitment, involving some of our young peace ambassadors, also together with some gens and Youth for a United World, and that are participating in this project. I was invited to join the team of formation for the 4th journey, which departed from Cyprus and was headed towards Beirut, Lebanon. The theme to explore was dialogue between religions, between cultures, and within human relationships in daily life. For the first 10 days, we shared life on the boat, divided into shifts and groups. Some of us cooked, others cleaned the boat, others took turns at the helm. We had moments of prayer, formation, and sharing of experiences, entering into each other's stories. In Beirut, a 3-day program awaited us, including the Peace Festival in Jounieh, a visit to the Adian Foundation, a meeting with the combatants for peace. We were so enthusiastic to go to Beirut, but just 20 kilometers off the Lebanese coast, we witnessed with our own eyes missiles from the conflict. The situation forced us to change course. And yet, this unexpected event did not stop our journey. On the contrary, it made our responsibility even clearer, that to be a school of peace in the middle of the sea, even as the world around us was being torn apart. For a moment, everything became sacred. Every glance, every gesture, every shared silence. I'm moved when I remember that on Friday we were praying together the Muslim prayer, and we were all together to pray with them. And I assure you that it was a moment where we experienced God so deeply that we just felt like we were going beyond a category, a culture, a religion. We were really deeply touched by this strong experience we were living. 2 weeks ago, we were just unknown. We were just strangers, and now we are a family that was born aboard of La Belle Espoir, the Good Hope. So some of us are from the Catholic Church, and we Catholic, we accompanied the Muslim prayer. We prayed under the stars. We had deep conversations and sincere conversations, listening to each other with our hearts. The Mediterranean welcomed us. It taught us silence and respect, gratefulness and beauty. This journey really filled us with joy and gratefulness, and above all, hope. Hope that another world is possible. While a war was raging between two countries, we were choosing dialogue. While weapons were filling the news, we chose friendship, shared humanity, fraternity. And now, when we look at the sea, we don't see anymore only waves, but we see faces. The faces of those people that we met, with whom we shared so much, and from whom we learned how to love without boundaries. This journey really changed us. L'Espoir is not only the name of a boat, but it's the living sign, a witness that peace is really possible. It really reminds us that making the world one family is not an unreachable dream, but it is really a reality that started in the middle of the sea, aboard of a ship, with a group of 15 young people that decided to 35 young people that decided to do that. And now I wanted to share with you some pictures and some video of this boat, so that you can hear it from their voices.
How are you feeling?
I'm feeling great.
You're feeling great?
Yes, I am.
You ready for this adventure?
Yes, I am. 100%. 100%.
My takeaway would definitely be the love and the care that I took from all these people, that I feel from all these people being together. We definitely need love and care with anyone that we meet. Sure, we might be strangers, but it's nice to have this sense of community. So I definitely want to share this, I don't know, this sweet feeling in my heart.
بالنسبة لي كانت الحقيقة تجربة رائعة جدا، تجربة جميلة جدا، مع مختلف الحضارات، مع مختلف الأشخاص، مع مختلف الديانات، مسيحيين، مسلمين. Really, it's for me something special.
I'm very grateful for the many conversations I had over here, but there were some very, very sincere moments with people of very different backgrounds, which truly filled my heart.
In ogni giorno io sono riuscita a trovare una persona che mi ha dato qualcosa, che ha pregato con me, per me, che mi ha consolata, che mi ha fatto ridere, quindi non mi sono mai sentita da sola in questa esperienza.
Da questa esperienza mi porto a casa alcuni sguardi affamati di fede che ho avuto l'onore e il piacere di incontrare durante 2 settimane di vita condivisa, nella quale ho avuto l'occasione di approfondire la mia fede e lo sguardo cristiano sulla mia fede. E in quello sguardo ho trovato la rarità di anime che ancora provano il desiderio del divino.
وكمان إشي تاني أثر فيا قديش إنه في تضامن من ناس مختلفة على قضية فلسطين. هذا إشي كتير كتير أثر فيا وبورجيني قديش نحن مهم كناس إنه نوقف مع بعض وندعم بعض في هاي القضايا. كمان إشي تاني حبيته اللي هو قديش نحن كنا منفتحين على بعض. بالنسبة إلي أكتر إشي بتذكره لما نحن سوينا زي صلاة في الليل، كنا مع بعض كلنا نصلي، وكانت القمر كان يضوي في السماء وصوت البحر، كنت على سفينة ونصلي كلنا مع بعض لله. فكان إشي كتير حلو إنه نسمع. أنا ما عمري كنت يعني في جزء من هاي الصلاة، فكان هذا إشي كتير حلو. ويعني بالنسبة لي هاي الذكريات رح دائما أحملها فيا، وبتمنى لما أرجع فلسطين نقدر نسوي إشي مشترك، صلاة مشتركة مع بعض، لأنه ما بحس هذا الإشي عندنا موجود.
Pues lo que me llevo es haber conocido a gente súper interesante con la que de primeras puede parecer que tenemos muchas diferencias porque venimos de diferentes países, diferentes culturas, creemos en diferentes religiones, pero la base es muy parecida. Lo que me llevo es ese conocimiento, esa cercanía, unas conversaciones increíbles, sentirme súper cómoda con ellos y a pesar de las diferencias culturales, sentir que somos mucho más parecidos de lo que pensaba.
Et du coup, je pense que là où mon cœur était principalement basé en France, là, il s'est déplacé et il se trouve un peu plus au milieu de la Méditerranée ou un peu dans chacun des pays qui étaient représentés sur ce bateau. Et donc, je repars avec, je pense, le souvenir de chacune des personnes présentes sur le bateau, de leur histoire, de leur sourire, de leur personnalité. Et voilà, je pense que je ne verrai plus jamais le monde et en tout cas le pourtour méditerranéen de la même manière.
وهذا ما ينجم إلا إنه يوسع لك مداركك، ما ينجم يخليك إلا تكون منفتح أكثر على الآخر وعلى التقبل. كان يجمعنا موضوع الأديان، وباختلاف الأديان وباختلاف الثقافات وباختلافاتنا الأيديولوجية، في النهاية نجموا نعيشوا بسلام ونجموا نوصلوا رسالة لجميع الشباب وطبعا لدول الحوض البحر الأبيض المتوسط.
Bellissimo, grazie Carlos. Davvero
Thank you,
bellissimo
Carlos.
vedere queste
It was
immagini,
amazing to see
di
these
Mediterraneo,
pictures
che è
of the
uno
Mediterranean,
scenario anche di grandi tragedie.
which is also a place of great tragedies, of big
Bellissimo pensare a
tragedies.
questa
And it
nave
was
con questa
amazing
squadra di
to think
ragazzi
about
che
this boat with this
collaborando
team of young people that collaborating with each other, they try to bring forward this dream and this project.
Come vi dicevo prima, il
As I
Padlet
was
che
saying
abbiamo
before,
lanciato
the
prima
Padlet we
rimane
launched
a
before
disposizione,
remains
quindi se
open for
qualcuno
you.
vuole
So if you
scrivere,
want
condividere qualche
to
pensiero,
share
ci sarà
something,
ancora la
any
possibilità di
comment,
farlo.
thought,
Se
there will be
qualcuno ha voglia
the chance to do it.
scriverci
If
anche
anybody
per
wants
avere
to
qualche
write to us
domanda,
for
Marco ha
some
lasciato il suo
questions,
contatto, oppure anche
Marco
attraverso questo
left
Padlet
his email,
potete
or
mandarci
also
delle
through this
domande e
Padlet you
magari
can write
troviamo
us
un modo
some
di
questions and
rispondervi.
we can find a way to answer to you.
E passerei quindi
And so now
ora
I
la
will
parola
I will leave the floor to Marianne.
Perfetto, grazie mille a
Perfect.
tutti
Thank you very
voi,
much
tutti gli invitanti oggi,
thank you very much to
tutti quelli
everybody
presenti
and
con
to
noi. Credo che per
all
me
of you
è
that
un
were with
onore
us today.
vedere tante belle
My heart
esperienze
is really
e anche
full
di
with
realizzare
all these
discussioni vere
experiences
comuni con questa
and
bella iniziativa
with the
insieme,
dream
fare
of
insieme.
realizing the dream of the
E
community
quindi, proprio che
communities
come ha
together.
detto Maria, no?
So, as Maria said, you can see the answers that received in the Padlet. There are some answers that are really great now with some pictures, so thank you for that. And now, so we are at the end of the third webinar of the United Work Community. In the last 3 months, we've lived together a series of meetings that let us deepen our connection, reflect, learn, and above all, do some take some concrete steps towards a more united world. I want to thank deeply all those people that participated in this meeting and the other 2 meetings that we had. And thank you very much to our volunteers. And now we are more than 30 people involved concretely in building this meeting. You are simply great. And now, this is the final invitation that we want to give you. Keep following the news of the communities on the social and the website of the United World Project. Also, our WhatsApp groups, you will find a link here in the chat, will help us keep a direct contact with each one of you. You can also see again or share this meeting on the YouTube channel of the United World Project. And lastly, we want to remind you that the communities are for everybody, for those that feel the need to change their city, starting from a common passion through collaboration and positive impact. To do that, don't forget to subscribe to our network through the form that we showed you today. So this is both for projects that are already active or for those that want to create a new community by feeling inspired from these meetings. So we wait for you with joy. And let's keep in touch because we will give you all the information. So these are the contacts of all the speakers of today. So if you want to ask them questions or know more, you can email them.
Grazie mille a tutti.
Thank you very much to everybody.
Grazie.
Ciao.
Grazie.
Raffaella, Gabriela, grazie. Ciao, grazie.
Grazie veramente.
Obrigada.
Grazie a Pilar.
Ciao, Tomás.
Tô querendo copiar aqui os negocinhos.
Grazie a Carlos.
Eu já saio.
Ciao, Amelia.
Ciao, Carlos.
Ciao.
Gloria.
Deixa pra lá.
Ciao, Tomás.
Grazie.
Tchau, gente. Agora eu já vou mesmo. Oh, não sei sair, gente. Tô com esse problema. Vamos lá.